The twin suns of Zerathia cast a golden glow over the vast crystal city. Towers of shimmering metal and glass reached toward the sky, reflecting light like 1,000 stars. Hover vehicles zipped silently between the buildings, and Zerathians moved with calm purpose, their presence elegant and controlled. This planet was home to one of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy, and at its heart ruled Princess Liara, the future queen of Zerathia. Liara was not like other royalty. Though her life was filled with ceremony and duty, she carried a sharp mind and a strong will. She studied her people and their technology daily, ensuring that she would one day lead with wisdom. Yet despite her confidence in her knowledge and skills, she had one rule: never fully trust outsiders. Zerathia had been visited by many alien species, but few were worthy of respect. Humans, in particular, were unpredictable and often reckless. The princess walked through the grand halls of the palace, her silver robes flowing behind her. Her advisors moved silently beside her, reporting the news of the day. There were reports of a strange ship detected near Zerathia's orbit, a vessel unlike any Zerathian design. Liara frowned. "Prepare for arrival," she said calmly, though a spark of curiosity flashed in her eyes. "I will meet the visitor myself." On the other side of space, Captain Alex Mercer guided his ship through the orbit of Zerathia. Humans were still young in space travel compared to many other civilizations, but Alex's skill was unmatched. He had been sent as part of a peaceful exploratory mission. Earth wanted to understand the galaxy, to form alliances, and to learn from other species. Alex had trained for years, mastering alien languages, customs, and survival tactics. He was confident in his abilities, yet he felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness as he approached Zerathia. As Alex's ship entered the landing bay, alarms quietly signaled his arrival. Liara and her guards watched from above. The ship landed smoothly, its metal hull gleaming under Zerathia's twin suns. The airlock opened, and Alex stepped out, his uniform neat and his face calm but alert. He moved with purpose, aware that he was in foreign territory. Liara descended to meet him. Her posture was regal and her eyes sharp. She studied him carefully. "I am Princess Liara of Zerathia," she said, her voice steady. "State your purpose on my planet, human." Alex bowed slightly, respecting her customs. "I am Captain Alex Mercer, representing Earth," he said. "We come in peace. I seek friendship, understanding, and the opportunity to learn from your people." Liara's eyes narrowed slightly. Humans spoke of peace often, but words were easy. Actions were what mattered. "You will be watched," she said. "Any attempt to harm Zerathia will be met with immediate response. Do you understand?" Alex nodded. "I understand completely, Princess." The princess signaled for her guards to escort him to a secure area. She followed silently, curious despite herself. There was something different about this human, something in his calm confidence and steady gaze. Most humans were loud, impulsive, or arrogant. This one was not. As they walked through the palace, the ship's arrival triggered an unexpected alarm. A maintenance drone, responsible for repairing parts of the palace infrastructure, malfunctioned. Its sensors went haywire, and it moved aggressively toward Liara, mistaking her for a threat. Before Liara could react, Alex jumped in front of her, pulling out a small energy device. With quick thinking, he redirected the drone and deactivated it safely. Sparks flew and smoke drifted through the hallway, but both of them were unharmed. Liara's breath caught. "You saved me," she said softly. "That was reckless." Alex smiled slightly. "Perhaps," he said, "but I could not let anyone get hurt, especially not you." For a moment, Liara studied him. His actions were brave, yes, but also thoughtful. Humans were rarely both. "Very well," she said finally. "You may move within the palace, but only under supervision. Any disobedience will not be tolerated. Alex nodded. Understood, Princess. Over the next few hours, Alex explored the palace, guided by Liara's advisors. He marveled at the technology, hovering platforms, communication crystals that transmitted images across planets, and vehicles that defied gravity. But more than the technology, he observed the people. Zarathians were disciplined, intelligent, and deeply connected to one another. Liara watched him quietly, noticing how he interacted with everyone. Unlike other humans who might have demanded attention or acted superior, Alex listened, observed, and adapted. There was respect in his manner, not arrogance. "You are unlike the humans I have studied," Liara said finally, speaking directly to him in her private chamber. Her voice was calm but held an edge of challenge. "Most humans are loud, selfish, or reckless. You seem different. Why should I trust you?" Alex met her gaze steadily. "Because actions speak louder than words. I will not ask for trust. I will earn it. My mission is to learn from you, not to exploit or harm. I promise you that." Liara considered his words carefully. She had learned to read people, and there was honesty in him, yet trust was not something given lightly. "Very well," she said. "You will remain under observation. I will decide how much freedom you may have. Understand this. Any betrayal will not be forgiven." Alex bowed respectfully. "I understand, Princess. I accept your terms." In the following days, Alex observed Zarathian life with fascination. He learned about their energy systems, their governance, and their ways of training citizens from a young age. Every question he asked was met with careful explanation. Liara watched silently as he absorbed information, impressed with his curiosity and his respect for her people. One evening, during a quiet walk through the palace gardens, Alex spoke to Liara. The gardens were filled with glowing plants, soft water fountains, and paths of smooth crystal. "Princess, may I ask you something personal?" he said gently. Liara's eyes flicked toward him. "You may ask. That does not mean I will answer fully." Alex smiled. "Why are you so cautious with humans? Most other species would accept our presence with curiosity or indifference. You keep your distance." Liara paused, choosing her words. "My duty is to my people. Humans are unpredictable, and my people cannot afford to be harmed. I must protect them, even from those who mean no harm." Alex nodded thoughtfully. "I understand. On Earth, humans often act without thinking, but some of us try to be careful, to learn, and to respect others. I hope I can show you that not all humans are the same." Liara studied him for a long moment. There was something in his sincerity that she could not ignore. She had always believed that emotion was a distraction from leadership, but this human made her question her own assumptions. Suddenly, the palace trembled. An alert flashed. An external meteor storm was approaching. Liara and Alex rushed to the observation deck. The sky outside glowed with falling debris, and the defensive systems hummed to life. "Can your people handle this?" Alex asked. Liara's eyes narrowed, determination shining. "Yes, but this is dangerous even for Zarathia. We must act quickly." Working together, Alex suggested a modification to the shield system that could redirect some of the storm's energy. Liara followed his guidance, and for the first time, she allowed a human idea to influence her people's defense. The shields adjusted, deflecting much of the meteor energy and saving a large section of the city. Liara looked at Alex with a mixture of surprise and respect. "You contributed to protecting my people," she said. Alex smiled softly. "We are allies, Princess. Protecting your people is important to me as well." For the first time, Liara felt a small crack in the wall she had built around her heart. She did not yet trust him fully, but she felt curiosity, admiration, and something she did not yet understand. That night, Liara stood on the balcony of her quarters, looking at the twin moons above Zerathia. She thought of the human who had arrived uninvited, yet had acted with bravery, respect, and intelligence. Perhaps, she mused, there was more to humans than she had assumed. As the city below rested, unaware of how close disaster had come, Liara made a quiet decision. She would allow Alex to continue his stay, under observation, of course. She would watch him, study him, and see if he could truly live up to his words. For now, she would remain cautious. But deep inside, a spark of curiosity had been lit, an ember that would grow stronger as their journey continued. And so began the unexpected encounter between Princess Liara of Zerathia and Captain Alex Mercer of Earth, two beings from very different worlds, whose destinies were about to become intertwined in ways neither could have imagined. The palace of Zerathia was quieter now, but the air was filled with energy. Princess Liara had agreed to let Captain Alex Mercer explore under supervision, and he moved carefully through the city, observing its wonders. Every moment offered him lessons. Every step made him more aware of the people who depended on the princess and the responsibility she carried. Alex's curiosity was endless. He marveled at the crystal towers that captured sunlight and converted it into energy for the city. He studied the floating gardens, where glowing plants absorbed nutrients from thin air and water that shimmered in midair. Every system seemed designed with purpose and efficiency, yet everything had a beauty that made it alive. Liara walked beside him, her expression calm but alert. She noticed his eyes, human eyes filled with wonder and respect. She had seen many outsiders come and go, yet none had shown such care in observing without disrupting. "You ask many questions," she said, her tone measured. "I am trying to understand," Alex replied. "Your technology is impressive, but the people behind it, they are even more impressive. You lead all of them, yet you seem calm in control. I wonder how you manage it." Liara gave a small smile. "It is not always easy. Leadership is about responsibility, not power. Every decision affects my people. I cannot act without considering consequences." Alex nodded thoughtfully. On Earth, leaders often make mistakes because they act too quickly or without enough understanding. I see that you have learned to balance caution and action. "That is admirable." The princess considered his words. "You speak as if you understand leadership, human, yet you come from a world where humans often act selfishly." Alex shrugged lightly. "Some humans are selfish, yes, but others are not. I try to be one of the ones who think before acting, who help when needed, who listen." For a moment, Liara studied him in silence. There was a sincerity in his voice, a calm that was rare among humans. Most visitors spoke boldly, trying to impress or intimidate. Alex had neither motive. He only wished to learn. Over the next few days, Alex spent his time with Zerathian scholars, engineers, and pilots. He studied their advanced propulsion systems, their communication crystals, and their energy shields. He asked questions, carefully listened to answers, and suggested small improvements based on human methods. Surprisingly, many of the Zerathian engineers accepted his ideas. Though different from their usual approach, Alex's methods worked. Liara observed these interactions quietly. She noticed how Alex treated everyone with respect, never speaking down to them or acting superior. He inspired confidence and encouraged collaboration. Slowly, her suspicion softened. Perhaps humans were not all reckless after all. One afternoon, while walking through the palace training grounds, Liara watched Alex attempt a simple maneuver with the hover vehicles. He stumbled at first, struggling with the controls, but quickly adapted, using his problem-solving skills to succeed. Liara found herself smiling. "You learn quickly," she said. Alex grinned. "I have a good teacher." "You flatter easily," Liara replied, though her tone held a hint of amusement. Alex's smile faded slightly. I do not flatter. I observe. You have taught me more than I expected to learn in 1 week. Liara considered this. Few visitors ever impressed her with intelligence, patience, and respect at the same time. Alex had all three. As days passed, the two faced minor challenges together. One day, a small energy leak in the palace threatened a section of the city. Sensors alerted the staff, but the root cause was unclear. Alex studied the energy flow, noticing a pattern the Zarathians had overlooked. Using human intuition and observation, he helped identify and fix the leak before it became dangerous. You saved time and resources, Liara said afterward, her voice a mixture of admiration and curiosity. Most humans would have panicked or caused more problems. Alex shrugged modestly. I just pay attention. That is all. Despite her admiration, Liara remained cautious. You are skilled, human, yet I must remind you, trust is not given lightly on Zarathia. One mistake could undo all that you have earned. I understand, Alex said. I do not expect blind trust, only the chance to prove myself. Liara's eyes softened slightly, though she did not admit it aloud. She had always believed that emotion could weaken judgment, yet she felt an unexpected warmth when she was near him. One evening, Liara invited Alex to observe a cultural ceremony in the palace. Zarathians had long rituals of honor and learning, celebrating knowledge, bravery, and unity. As they watched, Alex noted the careful choreography, the respect for elders, and the way the people celebrated achievements without arrogance or cruelty. This is beautiful, Alex whispered. Your people honor intelligence and courage. That is rare in the galaxy. Liara nodded. We value knowledge and responsibility. Our society is built on trust, respect, and understanding. Power alone does not hold this civilization together. It is wisdom and cooperation. Alex looked at her thoughtfully. That is why you lead so well. You understand the importance of every decision, every action. You do not rely on fear or force. You rely on understanding. Liara studied him. Few humans spoke with such insight. She began to see that Alex was not only clever, but he understood principles of leadership. He was learning, yes, but he also seemed to intuitively grasp what mattered most. Days later, a small crisis tested their growing alliance. A section of the city's energy grid malfunctioned, threatening to leave thousands without power. Liara directed the emergency teams, but the system was complex and unfamiliar even to her engineers. Alex offered a solution, a simple rerouting method adapted from human energy networks. It was unconventional, but it worked. The city stabilized, and Liara could not hide her surprise. You saved many citizens, she said afterward. I did not expect a human to contribute so effectively. Alex smiled softly. I only tried to help. Liara nodded slowly. Perhaps there is more to humans than I believed. You make me question my assumptions. Their time together began to change something in Liara. She remained cautious, but curiosity and admiration grew. She had always seen humans as impulsive and reckless, yet Alex's actions proved otherwise. He was brave, intelligent, and considerate. Slowly, she allowed herself to observe him without judgment, to learn from him as he learned from her. One evening, Liara and Alex walked along the palace balcony, overlooking the glowing city. The twin moons reflected on the water of the floating gardens below. Princess, Alex said softly, why do you always keep a wall around yourself? You are kind, intelligent, and capable. Why not trust more freely? Liara paused. Trust is earned, human. My people depend on me to protect them. I cannot risk their safety for personal feelings or desires. Alex looked at her steadily. And yet here I am. You observe me, you allow me freedom, and you let me help your people. Perhaps your wall is not as strong as you believe." Liara met his gaze, and for a moment she did not speak. There was truth in his words, and she felt a strange sensation she had never expected, curiosity mixed with a subtle warmth. She reminded herself that she could not let her heart interfere with duty, yet she could not ignore the growing connection between them. The following days were filled with more shared experiences. Alex learned Zarathian combat training, adapting quickly to their techniques. He observed their strategy simulations, offering ideas that were both clever and unexpected. Liara watched him, noting his problem-solving abilities and the way he respected the skills of others. In turn, Alex observed her leadership closely. He saw her patience, her ability to stay calm under pressure, and her unwavering commitment to her people. He began to understand the burdens she carried, and he admired her strength. One afternoon, as they studied the city's defense system, an emergency alert sounded. A rogue satellite from a distant system threatened to crash into Zarathia. The palace went into immediate action. Liara coordinated the defense, and Alex offered technical insight that helped predict the satellite's trajectory. Together, they devised a plan to deflect it safely. The mission succeeded, and Liara could not help but feel a mixture of relief and admiration. The human had proven himself not only capable, but dependable. She realized that she was beginning to trust him, not fully, but enough to acknowledge his value. As night fell over Zarathia, the princess returned to her quarters, reflecting on the events of the past week. Alex had changed her perception of humans. He was brave, intelligent, and respectful, qualities she had not expected. More importantly, he had shown her that it was possible for someone from another world to act with honor and care. Liara realized that her feelings were shifting. Curiosity had turned into admiration, and admiration was beginning to stir something deeper, something she had not anticipated. She reminded herself to remain cautious. Her duty to her people was paramount. Yet, she could not deny the subtle spark that Alex had ignited in her. Outside, the twin moons shone brightly, reflecting hope and the promise of new beginnings. Princess Liara did not yet know where this journey with the human would lead, but for the first time, she allowed herself to consider the possibility that connection, trust, and perhaps even friendship, or something more, could grow between them. And so, as Zarathia rested under the moons, two beings from very different worlds began to learn each other's hearts and minds. One, a princess bound by duty and wisdom. The other, a human guided by courage, curiosity, and respect. Together, they were beginning a journey that would challenge their assumptions, test their courage, and change their lives forever. The skies above Zarathia had always been calm and brilliant, painted in shades of gold and violet as the twin suns rose. But that morning, a different energy rippled through the city. The usual hum of hovering vehicles and crystal towers was pierced by urgent alarms. Sensors had detected an approaching fleet, a hostile alien faction known as the Korath, who sought to exploit Zarathia's advanced technology for their own gain. Princess Liara's heart tightened. She had trained for this, studied countless battle strategies, and yet nothing could prepare her for the fear of seeing her people in danger. Her advisors gathered around the main control panel, reporting the positions and strength of the incoming enemy ships. The Korath were ruthless and cunning, their ships armed with weapons capable of tearing through Zarathia's defenses. "We must evacuate civilians immediately," Liara commanded, her voice steady despite the tension in her chest. "Deploy defense drones and activate energy shields." Her advisors moved swiftly, but Liara's mind was already calculating every possible scenario. There was little time. Lives were at stake. And then she remembered Captain Alex Mercer. He had proven himself capable and intelligent during their time together, and she needed his unique perspective now. "Send for Alex," she ordered. Moments later, he arrived in the control room, eyes wide at the urgency. "Princess," he said, his voice calm but alert. "What's happening?" "A fleet of Korath ships is approaching," Liara explained. "They want our technology and will not hesitate to harm our citizens. I need your assistance." Alex nodded without hesitation. "Show me the systems and I'll help." Together they studied the defense grids, energy shields, and drone deployment systems. Alex suggested several unconventional strategies, rerouting energy through backup channels, creating decoy signals to confuse the Korath sensors, and using the city's floating gardens as natural barriers. Liara listened carefully, weighing his suggestions against Zarathian protocols. Each idea was risky, yet clever. "Very well," she said finally. "We will follow your plan. Coordinate with the engineers." The first wave of Korath ships entered Zarathian orbit. Bright beams of energy shot toward the city, striking the shields with tremendous force. The air vibrated, and the crystal towers hummed under the stress. Civilians panicked, rushing to designated shelters. The palace staff worked tirelessly to maintain order. Alex moved swiftly, directing teams to adjust energy flows and stabilize the shields. Liara stood beside him, her calm voice giving orders with precision and authority. They worked in perfect coordination, human ingenuity and Zarathian discipline complementing each other. Despite their efforts, one section of the city's shield began to falter. A Korath ship had found a weak point and fired a concentrated energy beam. The crystal towers began to crack under the pressure. "We need to divert power from the northern sector," Alex shouted, pointing to the display. "If we can reinforce the shield here, we might hold them off." Liara acted instantly, redirecting energy channels and instructing engineers to follow Alex's plan. The shields flickered, strained but held. Civilians in the threatened sector were safe, thanks to their combined efforts. As the battle continued, the Korath intensified their attack. Liara knew that they would not stop until Zarathia fell. She needed to act decisively. "Alex," she said, her tone firm, "we need to hit them directly. I will lead a tactical strike team. Will you come with me?" Alex did not hesitate. "Of course, Princess. Together." The two of them prepared for the mission. They boarded hovercrafts equipped with advanced weapons and shields, joined by a small team of elite Zarathian pilots. The fleet of Korath ships loomed in the distance, their dark silhouettes moving with precision. Liara's mind raced, considering every maneuver, every possibility. She was determined to protect her people at all costs. "Stay close," she instructed Alex, as their craft soared toward the enemy fleet. "We must strike together." The battle was fierce. Energy beams crisscrossed the sky, and the roar of engines echoed through the city below. Liara's tactical mind guided their team, dodging attacks and striking weak points in the Korath formation. Alex used his human creativity to anticipate enemy maneuvers, suggesting unexpected angles of attack and methods to disable ships without destroying them entirely. At one critical moment, a Korath fighter broke through the formation and targeted Liara's hovercraft directly. The energy beam scorched the air around them, shaking the vehicle violently. Liara gripped the controls, trying to maintain balance. "Alex!" she shouted. "I've got this!" he replied, activating a shield booster and using a clever maneuver to redirect the enemy's attack. The fighter exploded harmlessly in space and Liara's craft stabilized. She looked at him, her heart racing, not from fear, but from the realization of how much she relied on him. "Thank you," she said, her voice steady but softer than before. Alex nodded, his expression calm. "We save each other. That's what matters." The battle raged for hours, and exhaustion began to weigh on the team. Still, Liara and Alex fought side by side, their coordination seamless. They disabled key Korath ships, protected civilians, and inspired their team to keep going despite the odds. During a brief lull, Liara found herself observing Alex closely. He was tireless, brave, and thoughtful, never letting fear dictate his actions. She realized that her admiration for him had grown into something deeper. She had never expected to feel this way, but his courage, intelligence, and kindness had touched her heart. A sudden alarm interrupted her thoughts. A massive Korath warship approached, capable of destroying entire sectors of the city. Liara knew that conventional attacks would not be enough. She needed a bold strategy, one that would risk everything but could save Zarathia. "Alex," she said, determination in her voice, "we must strike at their core. Will you trust me?" Alex looked at her steadily. "I trust you completely, Princess. Let's do it." They led a direct assault on the warship, dodging its weapons and targeting weak points in its armor. Liara's tactical brilliance guided the team, while Alex's human ingenuity provided unexpected solutions to challenges that arose mid-battle. The warship began to falter, its systems overloaded by their combined attacks. Just as they prepared the final strike, a massive explosion threw Liara's hovercraft off course. She struggled to regain control, but the craft began to plummet toward the city below. Panic surged through her, but then she felt a steady hand on her arm, Alex's hand. "Hold on!" he shouted. Using quick thinking and precision, Alex activated emergency thrusters, stabilizing the craft and saving them both. Liara looked at him, her heart pounding, not from fear but from gratitude and something far more personal. "You risked yourself for me," she said softly. Alex met her gaze. "Always. You are not just a princess. You are a leader, and your people depend on you. I would never let harm come to you if I could prevent it." The moment lingered between them, unspoken emotions rising. Liara felt a warmth in her chest she had never experienced before, a mixture of trust, admiration, and a budding affection she could not ignore. Yet she reminded herself, duty came first. She could not let personal feelings cloud her judgment. The final strike succeeded. The Korath warship was disabled, and their remaining forces retreated. Zarathia's city remained intact, thanks to the courage, intelligence, and cooperation of Princess Liara and Captain Alex Mercer. As the city celebrated their victory, Liara and Alex returned to the palace, exhausted but triumphant. Citizens cheered, grateful for their leaders who had risked everything to protect them. Liara looked at Alex, realizing how deeply she had come to rely on him, not just as a human ally, but as a person who had earned her trust and respect. That night, Liara stood on her balcony once again, gazing at the twin moons. The battle had been won, yet her thoughts were filled with Alex, his bravery, his kindness, and the unexpected connection she felt toward him. She realized that her heart was no longer entirely under her control. The human had begun to change her, not just as a leader, but as a person capable of feeling more than duty demanded. Alex approached quietly. "Princess," he said softly, "the city is safe. Your people are unharmed." Liara turned to him, her eyes reflecting moonlight. "Yes, thanks to you." He smiled, humble and gentle. "We did it together." For a long moment they stood in silence, the aftermath of battle surrounding them. Liara felt a mixture of relief, admiration, and something far more personal, a recognition that the human standing beside her had touched her heart in a way she had never expected. As the city slept, recovering from the threat, Liara understood that her journey with Alex was no longer just about observation or caution. It had become something deeper, something that would challenge her beliefs, her heart, and her understanding of trust. She did not yet know where it would lead, but she felt certain of one thing. Captain Alex Mercer had earned not just her respect, but the first stirrings of her heart's attention. And so, in the quiet after the storm, two beings from different worlds stood together, united by courage, intelligence, and an unspoken bond that was growing stronger with every shared challenge. The princess had begun to see that even the most disciplined heart could be moved by trust, bravery, and human kindness. The true journey was only beginning. Zarathia woke to a sky painted in soft hues of pink and gold. The city had survived the Korath attack, and the people were slowly returning to normal life. Crystals shimmered in the morning light, and the soft hum of hover vehicles filled the air once more. Yet beneath the calm, Princess Liara felt a storm of thoughts within her. The events of the past days had shaken her, not only as a leader, but as a person. Captain Alex Mercer had proven his bravery and ingenuity during the battle, saving countless lives with calm precision and quick thinking. More than that, he had earned her trust in a way she had never imagined possible. Despite her reservations, a subtle warmth had begun to grow in her heart, a feeling she had never allowed herself to acknowledge before. Liara walked through the palace gardens, the same gardens that had impressed Alex with their beauty and function. She observed the glowing plants swaying gently in the morning breeze and felt the soft warmth of the twin suns on her skin. These gardens were a place of peace. Yet today they carried a new significance for her. She was beginning to understand that life was not only about duty and responsibility, but also about connection, trust, and courage. Alex joined her, his steps quiet and careful. "Good morning, Princess," he said, his voice gentle. "The city is stabilizing and your people are recovering well. You led them through this crisis beautifully." Liara glanced at him, a hint of a smile on her face. "We led them together," she said. "Your guidance helped more than you know." He shook his head modestly. "I only offered suggestions. The strength came from you. You commanded, you organized, and you inspired everyone. I only followed your lead." Liara studied him. His humility, his unwavering calm, and his respect for her people made her heart stir. She realized she had been wrong to assume all humans were reckless or selfish. This human was different. He had courage, intelligence, and honor, the qualities she valued most. Over the next few days, Liara allowed Alex more freedom within the palace and the city. He met more Zarathians, studied their technology, and even shared his knowledge of human science, offering improvements that were small but effective. Liara watched him interact with citizens, guiding engineers, helping children understand energy systems, and offering comfort to those still frightened by the recent attack. She could see the admiration and respect in the eyes of her people. One evening, as the twin moons rose high above the city, Liara invited Alex to join her on a quiet balcony overlooking the palace gardens. The city lights sparkled below, and a gentle wind rustled through the crystal leaves. "Alex," she began, her voice soft but serious, "these past days have shown me much. I have seen your courage, your intelligence, and your compassion. You have risked your life for my people and for me. And I find that I respect you deeply, not only as a human or a visitor, but as someone I care for." Alex looked at her steadily, his eyes warm and attentive. "Princess, I have felt the same. I did not expect to feel so connected to another being so quickly. But I do care for you, Liara, more than I can fully explain." Liara's heart quickened. She had never imagined that she would allow such feelings to enter her life. Yet here they were, undeniable and real. She realized that trust and courage could extend beyond strategy and battle. They could touch the heart as well. "I have always believed that emotion must be controlled for the sake of leadership," she admitted. "But you have shown me that trust and connection do not weaken a leader. They strengthen one, and I want to trust you fully." Alex stepped closer, his hand brushing hers gently. "You have nothing to fear, Princess. I will never harm your people or betray your trust. We can face the future together, side by side." Liara felt a warmth spread through her chest, a feeling of hope and courage she had not known in years. She allowed herself to take a deep breath and speak the words she had kept hidden even from herself. "Alex, my heart says yes." A gentle smile spread across Alex's face. "Then we move forward together," he said. "Not as visitor and princess, but as partners." The weeks that followed were filled with renewed energy and collaboration. Alex continued to work with Zarathian engineers, refining technologies and improving defenses. Liara led her people with renewed confidence, inspired not only by her duty, but by the bond she had formed with Alex. Together, they implemented new systems that strengthened the city, improved communication, and ensured that Zarathia would be prepared for any future threats. Their partnership became an example for all. Citizens saw that two beings from different worlds, with different abilities and perspectives, could come together to achieve extraordinary results. Zarathia thrived, not only because of technology and strategy, but because of cooperation, understanding, and shared purpose. Liara and Alex also shared quiet moments away from duty. They explored the floating gardens, studied ancient Zarathian texts, and watched the twin moons rise above the city. Each moment deepened their connection, blending admiration, trust, and love into something neither had anticipated, but both had embraced fully. One day, during a council meeting about rebuilding and strengthening the city, Liara addressed her advisors and citizens. "The Korath attack reminded us that Zarathia's strength lies not only in technology but in courage, trust, and unity. Today I am grateful not only for our survival, but for the bonds that guide us forward. We have learned that strength comes from collaboration, and hope comes from understanding one another. We are stronger together." Applause filled the chamber. Liara glanced at Alex, standing beside her, and saw the respect and admiration in the eyes of her people reflected in his gaze. She realized that their journey had not only changed her heart, but had inspired an entire civilization. That evening, as the city rested under the twin moons, Liara and Alex stood once more on the balcony, watching the calm, glowing horizon. The battle was over, but their journey had only just begun. "Liara," Alex said softly, "what we have done together, it is more than survival. It is the beginning of something greater." Liara smiled, feeling the truth of his words. "Yes, Alex. Together we can face any challenge. Together we can grow stronger, wiser, and braver. Together, we can build a future that honors both our worlds." He took her hand gently. "Then let us walk that path together, Princess, as allies, as friends, as something more." Liara felt a profound sense of peace. For the first time, she understood that the heart and the mind could work together, that leadership and love could coexist, and that trust could create bonds stronger than any shield or weapon. In the days that followed, Zarathia flourished. Citizens celebrated their survival and the unity of their leaders. Alex's presence became a symbol of cooperation between worlds, and Liara's wisdom guided her people into a new era of strength, understanding, and hope. One evening, Liara and Alex stood at the edge of the city, overlooking the vast landscapes beyond. The horizon glowed with possibilities, the twin suns setting in vibrant colors. Liara turned to Alex, her heart full and certain. "We have faced danger, uncertainty, and fear," she said. "Yet through it all, we have grown. We have learned from each other, and I have learned that my heart can choose without weakening my duty. It can guide me as surely as my mind." Alex nodded, his eyes reflecting the sunset. "And I have learned that courage is not only in battle, but in understanding, in respect, and in the willingness to trust. Together, we are stronger than we could ever be alone." Liara took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the suns and the calm of the moons above. She knew that the future would bring challenges, but she also knew that she would not face them alone. Alex was by her side, not just as a human visitor or ally, but as someone who had earned her trust, respect, and love. "Then let us move forward," she said softly. "Together we will protect Zerathia, guide our people, and embrace the possibilities of tomorrow. Together, we will write a new chapter for both our worlds." Alex smiled, taking her hand firmly in his. "Together," he echoed. And so, under the twin moons of Zerathia, two beings from different worlds stood united. Princess Liara, wise, courageous, and steadfast. Captain Alex Mercer, brave, intelligent, and honorable. Their bond, forged in trust, courage, and respect, had grown into something greater than either had expected. It was a bond that promised a future of cooperation, understanding, and hope, not only for themselves but for their people and their worlds. The city below shimmered peacefully, the soft hum of energy flowing through the crystal towers, a testament to their triumph and collaboration. Above, the stars twinkled, a reminder that the galaxy was vast, full of challenges, wonders, and possibilities. Liara and Alex looked out into the horizon, ready to face whatever came next, not as princess and visitor, but as partners, friends, and something more profound. For the first time, Liara felt completely certain. Her heart had spoken and it had chosen wisely.